There are moments in life that demand your full attention, moments where you're not just listening but awakening. These are the times that challenge your assumptions, force you to confront uncomfortable truths, and open the door to transformation. This is one of those moments. For the next 60 minutes, we're not here to indulge in passivity. We're here to shake the very foundation of how you view yourself and the life you're building. The truth is a force that cannot be avoided. It waits in the shadows, persistent and unyielding, no matter how much we try to ignore or deny it. To confront the truth is one of the most challenging yet transformative acts you can undertake. It demands courage, the courage to face the things you'd rather keep hidden, to address the parts of yourself and your life that make you uncomfortable, and to acknowledge the gaps between who you are and who you could be. But it is precisely in this confrontation that growth begins. The truth has a way of stripping away the illusions we use to comfort ourselves. It tears down the narratives we built to justify inaction, the excuses that shield us from taking responsibility, and the stories we tell to avoid change. It doesn't care about your ego or your feelings, it cares about what is real. And while this might sound harsh, it's also liberating. When you face the truth head on, you begin to see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. And only when you see things clearly can you make meaningful progress. Avoiding the truth may provide temporary relief, but it comes at a high cost. It keeps you stuck. It traps you in a cycle of avoidance, leaving you to carry the weight of unspoken fears and unresolved issues. You cannot build a solid foundation on a bed of lies or half-truths. Eventually, the cracks will show and the structure will crumble. But when you embrace the truth, no matter how difficult or painful it might be, you give yourself the chance to rebuild on a foundation of honesty and integrity. Confronting the truth is not about punishing yourself for past mistakes or failures. It's about learning from them. Every painful truth you face carries with it a lesson, a roadmap for how to move forward. Perhaps you've been neglecting your health, avoiding a relationship issue, or procrastinating on a goal you know matters deeply to you. Facing these truths is uncomfortable, yes, but it also provides clarity. It tells you exactly where the problem lies, and more importantly, where the solution begins. This process is not easy. It requires you to sit with discomfort, to admit when you've been wrong, and to let go of the safety net of denial. But within that discomfort lies transformation. You take the first step from reclaiming your power. You shift from being a passive observer of your life to an active participant, someone who takes ownership of their circumstances and commits to creating change. The truth is a mirror. It reflects not only your flaws, but also your strengths. It shows you the areas where you need to grow, but it also reminds you of your potential. It reveals that you are capable of more than you think, that the limitations you've accepted as fact are often nothing more than self-imposed barriers. When you confront the truth, you begin to dismantle these barriers, opening the door to a future that is not constrained by fear or avoidance, but fueled by purpose and authenticity. Remember, the truth is not your enemy. It is your ally, your guide, your compass. It will challenge you, yes, but it will also set you free. It will show you the path forward, but it will also demand that you walk it with courage and discipline. If you embrace it, the truth will not only change your perspective, it will change your life. So ask yourself, what truths have you been avoiding? What would happen if you faced them today? And how much more meaningful, more purposeful, more fulfilling could your life become if you committed to living in alignment with the truth, no matter the cost? The answer lies within you, waiting to be discovered. All you have to do is take the first step and confront it. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the key to a meaningful and fulfilling life. It is through responsibility that we find purpose, direction, and a deeper connection to the world around us. Yet, in a world that often glorifies ease, comfort, and instant gratification, the idea of embracing responsibility can seem daunting, even undesirable. But the truth is, the more we shy away from responsibility, the more hollow and disconnected our lives become. Responsibility, though challenging, is the bridge that leads us from aimlessness to meaning. When you take responsibility for your life, you reclaim control. It is easy to blame others for your struggles or to attribute your circumstances to external forces beyond your control. But every time you do so, you give away a piece of your power. Responsibility, on the other hand, is empowering. It shifts the focus from what is outside of your control to what is within it. It asks you to take ownership of your actions, your choices, and your future. It is not about perfection or never making mistakes. It is about the willingness to face the consequences of those mistakes and learn from them. This is really it. Responsibility gives structure to your existence. It anchors you in a world that is often chaotic and unpredictable. It provides you with goals to work toward and principles to uphold. Without it, life can feel meaningless, adrift in a sea of uncertainty. But when you commit to something greater than yourself, a career, a relationship, a family, a community, you create a foundation that brings stability and direction to your life. You begin to understand that your efforts, no matter how small, contribute to something meaningful. It is through responsibility that we discover who we truly are. It forces us to confront our fears, our weaknesses, and our limitations. It challenges us to rise above our doubts and insecurities and to step into the potential we often fail to see in ourselves. Responsibility is not easy. It will test you. It will demand effort, sacrifice, and perseverance. But it is in these moments of challenge that you grow. It is through taking on difficult tasks and pushing through adversity that you build resilience, character, and a sense of self-worth. Life is a delicate dance between order and chaos, two opposing forces that define our existence. Order is the structure, the known, the predictable aspects of life, where we feel safe and in control. Chaos, on the other hand, is the unknown, the unpredictable, the realm of uncertainty and possibility. Together, they create the fabric of reality, and our ability to navigate the balance between them determines the quality of our lives. Order is comforting. It provides stability and a sense of purpose. It is the foundation of routines, habits, and systems that help us achieve our goals. Without order, we would be adrift, unable to make sense of the world or ourselves. But too much order can become suffocating. It can lead to rigidity, stagnation, and a life that feels empty of excitement or growth. Clinging too tightly to order often means avoiding the very experiences that help us grow, new challenges, risks, and the unknown. Despite chaos, though terrifying, holds the seeds of transformation. It is where creativity, innovation, and discovery are born. Chaos pushes us to confront the limitations of our understanding and forces us to adapt, evolve, and improve. It is the fire that burns away complacency and ignites change. Yet, chaos without any sense of order can lead to overwhelm and destruction. A life consumed by chaos is one without direction, one where the overwhelming weight of uncertainty crushes any sense of progress or stability. The secret lies in finding harmony between these two forces. It's about embracing the stability of order while being willing to step into the uncertainty of chaos when it calls. Growth happens on the edge of this balance. It's in those moments when you venture just far enough out of your comfort zone to challenge yourself, but not so far that you're completely overwhelmed. It's the act of taking a calculated risk, learning something new, or facing a fear head-on while maintaining the grounding that order provides. Order and chaos are not enemies. They are partners in the journey of life. Together, they create the dynamic tension that drives us forward. Imagine your life as a tightrope walk. Order is the rope that keeps you steady, while chaos is the unknown path stretching ahead, demanding courage and focus to move forward. You need both to progress. Too much order and you stay in place, unwilling to take a step. Too much chaos and you lose your footing and fall. When you learn to embrace both forces, you unlock your potential. You find the courage to take on challenges, to try and fail and try again, knowing that chaos is a necessary part of growth. At the same time, you create structures in your life that allow you to channel this growth into something meaningful. You set goals, build habits, and cultivate discipline, ensuring that the chaos you face is not wasted but transformed into progress. That is the price of failure. Are you willing to think about all the things in life as I used to? This balance is not easy. It requires constant awareness and adjustment. It means acknowledging when you're clinging too tightly to comfort and when you're recklessly diving into uncertainty without preparation. It means being honest with yourself about where you're falling short and where you need to push harder. But in this effort, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. You learn to trust yourself, to handle what comes your way, and to create a life that is both stable and dynamic, secure and adventurous. Life will always be a dance between order and chaos, and that's a good thing. It's in this balance that you find purpose, growth, and fulfillment. Embrace it. Step into the unknown when the time is right, but never lose sight of the structures that ground you. Because when you learn to navigate these dual forces, you don't just survive, you thrive. You become the kind of person who can face whatever life throws at you, who can build and rebuild, who can find meaning in the midst of uncertainty and create something extraordinary from the interplay of these two powerful forces. The journey to greatness is not built on grand gestures or monumental achievements all at once. It is constructed through small, intentional actions, repeated consistently over time. These seemingly insignificant steps, when aligned with purpose and direction, have the power to transform your life in ways that are both profound and enduring. The value of small intentional actions lies not in their size, but in their ability to create momentum, build discipline, and cultivate lasting change. Every significant achievement starts with a single step. That first small action might feel trivial, almost laughable in its simplicity, but it holds immense power. It breaks the inertia of indecision and fear, setting you in motion toward your goals. The small act of making your bed in the morning, choosing water over soda, or spending 5 minutes journaling your thoughts might not seem revolutionary, but it signals to yourself and the world that you are willing to take charge of your life. Number 6, selling. It is a declaration that you are no longer a passive observer, but an active participant in shaping your reality. Small actions compound over time. What begins as a minor effort grows into a habit, and habits are the building blocks of character. A single push-up today might lead to a regular fitness routine in 6 months. A single kind word to a colleague might evolve into stronger relationships and greater opportunities. When you commit to small, intentional actions, you create a ripple effect that extends far beyond the initial effort. These ripples gather force, shaping your future in ways you may not immediately see, but will undoubtedly feel. The beauty of small, intentional actions is that they are achievable. When faced with a daunting goal, the sheer enormity of the task can paralyze you. You might think, how can I possibly do this? But when you break it down into small, manageable steps, the impossible becomes possible. You don't have to climb the entire mountain today. You just have to take the next step, and then another, and another. Each step brings you closer to the summit, building confidence and resilience along the way. These small actions also cultivate mindfulness and intentionality. They remind you to focus on the present moment, to give your full attention to what you are doing right now. When you approach your day with this level of awareness, every action, no matter how minor, becomes meaningful. Washing the dishes becomes a moment of gratitude for the food you've eaten. A morning walk becomes an opportunity to reconnect with nature. In this way, small actions not only lead to big results, but also enrich your experience of life. Small intentional actions teach you discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. There will be days when motivation is scarce, when the weight of life feels heavy and progress seems slow. On these days, the decision to take one small step is an act of defiance against despair. It is a reminder that you are in control, that you have the power to keep moving forward even in the face of resistance. Discipline is not built in grand moments of effort, but in the quiet consistency of small, intentional actions. Most importantly, small actions reflect your commitment to growth. They show that you believe in the possibility of change, that you trust in the process, even when the results are not immediately visible. When you water a seed, you do not see it sprout overnight, but you trust that it is growing beneath the surface. The same is true for your efforts. The expectation of the result is not the expectation of whether or not life will enforce those efforts. That takes time. Each small action is a seed planted in the soil of your life. And with time, care, and consistency, those seeds will grow into something extraordinary. So, take that first small step, no matter how insignificant it may seem. Clean your desk. Write a single paragraph. Drink an extra glass of water. Call someone you've been meaning to connect with. These small intentional actions are not just tasks to complete, they are declarations of who you are becoming. They are proof that you are willing to put in the effort, that you are committed to living a life of purpose and meaning. You don't need to have it all figured out, you just need to start. Because when you string together enough small intentional actions, you don't just change your habits, you change your mindset. You don't just achieve goals, you transform your life. And in the end, you'll look back and realize that those small steps weren't small at all. They were the foundation of everything you've accomplished. There comes a moment in life when you realize that the story you've been living no longer serves you. Perhaps it's a story defined by fear, failure, or limitation. A narrative that you've told yourself so many times it feels like truth. But here's the thing. You are not bound by that story. You have the power, and more importantly, the courage to redefine it. To rewrite your story begins with the bold decision to confront the narrative you've been living. This is not easy. It requires honesty. and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about your choices, beliefs, and habits. But it is in this confrontation that transformation begins. You must ask yourself, who am I really? What am I capable of? What kind of life do I want to create? These questions are not meant to shame or discourage you. They are a call to action, a challenge to step into your potential. Redefining your story is an act of courage because it demands that you let go of the familiar, even if the familiar is painful. We cling to old narratives because they are comfortable. They give us a sense of identity, even when that identity holds us back. Breaking free from them means stepping into the unknown, where the path is uncertain and the outcome is not guaranteed. But it is in that uncertainty that possibility lives. To redefine your story is to take control of your narrative, to stop being a passive character, and become the author of your life. This process is not about erasing the past, but about reframing it. Your past does not define you. It informs you. Every failure, every setback, every moment of doubt is a chapter, not the whole book. When you look back on these moments, you can choose to see them as evidence of your limitations, or you can choose to see them as proof of your resilience. The courage to redefine your story lies in recognizing that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a creator of meaning, yet to decide what your experiences mean and how they shape your future. Redefining your story requires action. It's not enough to dream of a new narrative. You must take deliberate steps to live it. Start small. Identify one area of your life where the story you've been telling yourself no longer fits. Maybe it's a belief that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not deserving of happiness. Challenge that belief. Take one action, however small, that contradicts it. Over time, these actions build momentum. They become the evidence you need to rewrite the script in your favor. Huh? 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 Oh? Huh? Oh? 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 There will be resistance. The old story will fight to keep its place. Doubts will creep in, and the comfort of familiarity will call you back. But remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Each time you take a step toward redefining your story, you build strength. You prove to yourself that you are capable of change, that you are not bound by your past, and that you have the power to create a future that aligns with your values and aspirations. Redefining your story is also an act of self-compassion. It's about forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made and the opportunities you've missed. It's about acknowledging that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Now, with greater awareness, you can do better. This is not about perfection. It's about progress, about becoming a little better today than you were yesterday. The courage to redefine your story is the courage to claim your life as your own. It's the recognition that you are not a bystander in your existence, but an active participant with the power to shape your destiny. No matter where you've been or what you've been through, you can choose to write a new chapter. You can choose to be the hero of your story, to rise above your challenges, and to create a life that reflects your highest potential. The pen is in your hand. The page is blank. What will you write? Will you continue living a story dictated by fear, regret, or limitation? Or will you summon the courage to redefine your story, to craft a narrative of growth, resilience, and possibility? The choice is yours, and with that choice comes the opportunity to transform not just your story, but your entire life. So, let me leave you with this. The next 60 minutes of your life can be the most eye-opening if you choose to let them be. Open your mind to the truths that challenge you. Step into the discomfort of growth. Take responsibility for your actions and your future. And most importantly, believe that change is possible. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. Because when you start living intentionally with clarity, courage, and purpose, the world doesn't just happen to you anymore. You begin to shape it. You begin to live, not merely exist. And that, my friends, is the most profound transformation of all.